Hello everyone, welcome back to the next episode of our podcast, and today we have Krishna Priya with us, the amazing CEO and founder of Starbuzz.ai. I'm sorry, I should have said founder and CEO, but it's okay. We are humans, we make mistakes.
As long as you covered both the things.
I know, right? So hi Krishna Priya, how are you?
Hi Dave, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So Krishna Priya, remember I told you that there's something very special about your name?
Yes.
And I told you that I'd tell you on the podcast.
Yes.
So my very first crush, like in my life, like the time that I knew that this is love, and this is how I get attracted to, I'm heterosexual and I'd get attracted to women. So that's when there's this lady, Krishna Priya. I hope she listens to it. This is also a hint to her. I still like her. But yes, she was my first crush, but I never told her because back then I was more of this competitive guy, go to competitions, win trophies and all of that. But life changes. I'm not very competitive now. I'd rather, sit, be at peace and, do things and help people out there. So yeah, so that's like a very amazing combination. I remember that the first podcast that I've shot was also with Krishna Priya, another Krishna Priya.
Oh, I didn't know my name was so popular.
I know, for me it is. For me it is. I have a very strange stories. So whenever I start something, I make sure that there's someone Krishna Priya in the team.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, right? I shouldn't be saying this, but okay. So yeah, I really like your name. Who has given you this name?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad's, my father's name is Krishna.
Okay.
So he wanted Krishna to be a part of my name.
Okay.
And then since I'm a girl, he can't just go with Krishna, so Krishna Priya. That's
right. Is your father religious?
Yes.
Okay, that's why Krishna?
No, actually we come from a family of Brahmins, and my grandfather, great-grandfather, they used to do all these homas, yagnas and all. So his name was Sri Krishna Somayajulu.
Okay.
So my dad, he was very confident that I would be a boy when I am born.
Okay.
So he wanted to name me after his dad, Krishna, and call me by his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and even after I was born, initial years, he used to call me Krishna.
Okay.
And later he realized that maybe I would be confused if I'm a guy or a girl if he keep calling me. So that then was.
Please tell your dad that I am also calling you Krishna.
Yes.
But that said, I didn't know you're from a Brahmin family, and I'm very curious about Brahmin people.
Okay.
So how's life like a Brahmin?
So I should probably give you a disclaimer that we are not very traditional orthodox Brahmin family. We are to a certain extent as the modern society allows you to. Like we do the pujas in the morning. We have all these fastings. We are my mother and father, they are very religious, but they're not very. They don't force it on us, on me or my sister. They're not like you have to do this, you have to do this, as long as your time permits, because they know we both are very busy people. So they do all those things, we don't. And we do in certain things.
Understood. What's your biggest festival that you guys do? Because of course, everything about Brahmins are grand, right? So what's this one particular festival that you guys involve and take lots of time and do it?
So pretty much all the festivals, and if you know Brahmins, if you've heard about them, we are all about food.
Right. They're amazing food. Ghee everywhere.
There's sweets everywhere. So, but our family is also very limited in that as well. We're just 4 of us. So and Ganesh Chaturthi is one festival we all celebrate very together, and Kartika Masam, the whole month.
The whole month. Do you don't eat non-veg, right? I mean,
No, we don't.
Okay. I have a friend, Harini. She's also she's not like you. She's like very strict Brahmin. So I'm very curious about their life. She has a very different life altogether. Sometimes it's very difficult actually. I feel like how do you even survive with lots of things happening?
I have heard about it, and sometimes people even are surprised when I say that I come from a Brahmin family, because they expect certain things like you have strict parents, you should be fair, you are this, you are that. So
right. Well, so you're from a Brahmin family, and your parents, of course, they're not very much imposing on you in terms of culture, but I want to understand how's your relationship with your parents.
Very friendly.
Okay.
Very friendly. I tell them everything. Me and my sister, we after school, my mom's a school teacher.
Okay.
So after school, the three of us used to walk home, and we used to sit, and I used to narrate everything that happened in my school. First period, this teacher told me this.
Okay.
This guy came to me, and we talked about this. All the trivial things. We used to share it with my mother, and after my dad comes home. during dinner. I used to narrate the same thing to my dad as well. So they're very friendly guys, and I even used to tell them, this guy, so and so guy, he told me he has a crush on me. What should I do?
Okay.
We used to discuss all these.
This used to happen a lot, huh? Yeah, right.
So they're very friendly. Like I remember some of my friends, girls, they used to be shocked that you discuss all this with your parents. I was like,
Right.
if I tell my dad that so and so guy is following me or so and so guy has a crush on me, they would immediately blame it on me,
Right.
saying that you did something wrong. But then
Right.
I was like, no, I always tell this with my dad. He
Right.
even suggests me that, you have to deal it like this. You have to tell them that you're not interested. He used to ask me, are you interested in this guy?
Okay.
I would say no.
Okay.
So tell them that you're not interested.
Please give me your father's phone number. I really want him to be on the podcast now.
Yes, he should be. He's a very great guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So, who's your go-to person? Let's say you have a problem or something. Who do you go to, your mother or your father?
Both. See, if I start talking with my dad, my mom will come in and join the conversation. If I start with my mom, my dad immediately jumps in. So
Right.
we are very close, very tight family. So both of us.
And you have just one sibling?
Yeah.
Younger, elder?
Elder.
Oh, elder sister, younger sister. How's everything between you both?
Very friendly again.
Okay.
So my parents never used to compare. They never used to say that your sister did that or there was never
Right.
that. So it was all very friendly. It was all very competitive, and we are that foolo ka faalo ka.
Okay.
That kind of a sister relationship we both have.
Okay.
So we fight. It's not like we don't fight, but then we immediately make up. And then if I'm very serious, she gets tears in her eyes, and if she is hurt, I get. So it's very protective. And there's this one incident, like they always taught me that wherever I go, I used to ask for sister.
Okay.
So when I was very young, maybe some few months old or maybe a year, because my mom was working back then.
Okay.
So it was very difficult for her to manage two kids. It's 1.5 years difference between me and my sister. It was very difficult for her to manage. So she dropped me at my grandmother's house.
Okay.
So my sister was here at my mother's place. So she used to taunt my mother the whole day saying, where is my sister?
Right.
And me in my grandparents' house, I used to cry, akka kavali, not amma.
Right.
I didn't cry for my mother. I was like, I want my sister.
Oh, okay.
And even as a kid, we used to go to temples and all. So my grandmother, my father's mother, she used to take me to temple.
Okay.
And there I used to go there, and they used to give me prasad. I used to ask akka ki. I used to immediately show another hand and ask where's for my sister.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a very good relationship.
It's really very sweet of you to actually share this. Last time I remember my sister complaining, why me? Okay, why my brother? So I'll tell her now, you have to be a very good sister also. She is actually.
You're
but we fight a lot. Yeah. I'm the middle one. We are three.
Okay.
Yeah. My sister is the elder one. I'm the middle one. That's why I'm like this. Yeah. And the younger one, of course, he's like all together on another level. No one cares like what he does. Yeah.
That's boon and bane both.
I know, right? So that's it. Do you? Is your sister married by the way?
Yes. Okay. Recently.
You are together?
No, she lives with her husband.
Okay. And how is the dynamics now? Like, because you are very much fond of your sister, now she's away from home. How does it feel like?
It feels both good and bad because they stay very near. We stay in Miyapur and they stay in Mallampet. It's like 20 minutes.
The question is invalid.
Yeah. And we still meet. We make it a point to meet every week. Every Monday we sit, we discuss about what happened that week. So
right.
It's an invalid question.
Right, invalid. I know, right? So how was your school days, Krishna Priya? Were you a naughty kid? Were you a very studious, serious first bencher? How were you?
I was a nerd. I was a class topper. I was a school topper. I'm sure all of my friends used to hate me because whenever a teacher forgets the assignment or forgets a test,
are you that girl?
Yes.
I have been finding for this girl. Okay.
I used to remind her, you said you would take test today.
Right.
I was that kind of a girl.
Right.
But I was nerd but not very studious. I was not always with the books.
Okay.
You
were with your sister?
Yeah.
Is it the books or your sister? Right.
Yes. And even one of my hobbies is also I read a lot of books. So I'm a bookworm, I'm a nerd.
Okay, what's the last book that you read?
The recent book that I'm currently reading is Shoe Dog.
Okay. Is it what? Like
it's about the Nike's founder. It's about his journey from the very early
stages. I'll edit this because if I don't know who has written Shoe Dog, I'm sure people will hate me. So I'll edit it. Okay, so how's it? How's the book so far?
It's actually good. It connects you. You're in your beginning stages where you're struggling and figuring out how startup should be, how you should be scaling it up, and all those things. And it gives you some sort of comfort that a brand like Nike has also started like this.
Right.
Even they were struggling. They were struggling to get investors, customers, market.
Right.
So it gives you some sort of comfort and hope. So it's very relatable.
No, for me, comfort and hope is even you have your struggle story.
Yes.
Yeah, and I really look up to everyone who's honestly putting their efforts and work and trying to put things into perspective, and in a way to have that launch and a longevity, of course, with their products and services. So for me, not just Nike, everyone, like I adore everyone whoever is working hard, because I don't work hard, as I've mentioned. I'm very lazy. So I really admire everyone, literally, whoever has this very honest way of living, right? Of course, there are people who have a dishonest way of living. I don't like them, but other than that, anyone who respects their work, tries to make sure that certain things are accomplished, I really respect you all. So for me, please write a book. If you haven't thought of, I'll go through it. But of course, I don't think we'll be needing a book, because most of the questions I'd be asking you today directly.
Thank you.
Right. So you were a studious person, not so studious, were a nerd, but not very nerd. I think you were balancing.
Maybe I tried to balance my nerdness, but it always used to come out. I was the school topper, class topper, I was a state topper in my inter, so I think it always used to come out.
Oh, you were a topper?
Yes.
Here? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I must have seen you, because my mother was also very obsessive about ranks and marks, right? And she always wanted me to top.
Actually, funny story, none of my parents were obsessive about marks or percentages. They never even forced it on me. The first time I was a class topper, I was absent in the annual day where they were distributing prizes.
Okay.
And my mother being a teacher, my class teacher reached out to her saying that your daughter got the first prize. She was a class topper and we had to give her the prize, take it.
Right.
My mother was surprised. She was like, what? Is she a topper? I didn't know this.
Okay.
Yeah, so they never really forced us on it.
Right. No, back then I also still remember, it was like a pressure whenever you get into your 10th and whenever you get into your 12th, you got to score this, score that, and all of that. So was there any pressure for you to perform? Never. So you did it out of love, like you wanted to?
Yeah. It was mostly the pressure I put on myself. My parents used to ask me to take it easy. It's okay. You've got this. You're a smart girl. You can do this. But then it was more of a pressure I put on myself.
Right. How was life after school?
After school, till inter, it was good because it was a set path. After school, you join +1, +2, you do this, you get, because I'm interested in maths, obviously, to the MPC. After that is where it got all confusing. There are multiple streams, multiple choices, and you are exposed to a much bigger world.
Right.
Here in the school and in inter, you are very closed and you interact with only a set of people on a daily basis.
Correct.
But after inter, when you go to the BTech to do the graduation, it's like...
So you studied engineering?
Yes.
What engineering?
Electrical and electronics engineering.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Very infamous. Right.
That's what I'm saying, there's plethora of options, and then my uncles and everybody used to say that girls in EEE are very rare, and if you do it good, you get good jobs and all. I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot.
Okay. So did you have like a proper idea that you want to pursue this? No. Okay. You just...
I liked studying. They made it very appealing to me. It's like you'll be learning about machines, the power and all these things, the power grids. I was like, right, that sounds interesting. I'll do it. That's it.
Right. So if at all you were given a chance to go back and think or reimagine or rethink about what career prospects you want to choose, what would you have been choosing?
Not very sure.
Even now?
Yeah, I'm I don't regret any choice that I've made.
Right. No, not about regrets. I mean, if at all, because last time, it was made it very easy for you to choose something because it was given to you on your plate.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand, what would you choose now if you were given a chance?
If I were given a chance, I would actually choose literature because I love reading. Maybe I want to write a book, like you said, not about myself, but about something.
Please write a book. Whenever you write a book, write that they've started this.
Yes, credits, remarks somewhere.
Please do that. So that said, you just mentioned about you being in college and it was a different world altogether. How different was it, and what did you do, and what are the different things that happened to you?
So, like I said, in schooling and during the inter 2 years, you interact with only a set of people and very limited world. And the world that we grew up in, like I said, our upbringing, I didn't know about the caste differences. I didn't know that they bias based on the gender. I didn't know they bias based on the income and the financial things.
Right. Very true.
We weren't
Very
aware
true.
of it. I mean, my dad and mom, they never used to make me or my sister sit and say, ki, just because you're girls, don't think that you can't do it. And they never gave us these speeches.
Right.
They just gave us the freedom. Like, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. So I was not aware of existence of any of these things. I thought it was given.
Right. So you had a very clear state of mind back then, right?
Yeah. I thought it was given. I thought it was how everybody sees the world. But when I entered the engineering, I noticed all these things. People used to talk about all these things. They used to say, just you are a girl, you can't do this, or you come from so and so financial background, so maybe you wouldn't understand this. I was like, these actually exist.
Right.
That was like a eye opener for me. So
How was your financials back then when you were a kid?
we were modest. We didn't have too much. We didn't have too little. We had just enough.
Right. And how did that change you in college?
Not really.
Like after knowing all these discriminations, what was your reaction?
So actually, I was more of a if somebody says if you can't do it, show them that you can do it kind of a girl. So them saying these things actually made me who I am today. Actually, contributed in some.
Did this happen to you, like on your face? People telling you that you can't do this?
I don't think they had that courage to tell me on my face, but then, yeah, I mean, the female part, yes, but not the other things.
So college is basically the place where the whole implantation of you want to do something amazing or great has started.
Yeah.
Right. And then when did the process of entrepreneur started to you?
It all happened very organically and before I even realized.
Okay.
So after graduation, I got into 4 MNCs, but then I was like, I want to do something else. I don't want to be one among the crowd.
Okay.
So I joined another startup.
Okay.
Where I learned how a startup works and all these things. There I got.
This was at which year? When did you graduate?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I joined a startup. I worked there for a good 2-3 years. I understood, and there I got this idea of starting this, and I found a problem. I researched, we got a solution. We understood that nobody else in this industry is doing it effectively. There are solutions obviously, but not in India. So we wanted to give it a shot. I discussed it with my then founder Arvind, and we both researched, found the solution, and we started Starbuzz.
Is he your batchmate, classmate?
No, he was the founder of the startup. I started working after graduation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
So we both liked the idea. We researched and started this, and it was very organic. I didn't even realize I had a startup. I didn't even realize I have a company or a product and all until it hit me that after I guess good 12 months, we were planning about hiring somebody.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I have a startup, I have a business running, and I need somebody to support. So
right.
Yeah.
So how did this idea come to you? Like making sure that the influencer marketing is done in a more organized manner. How did this start? Like, because there are lots of ideas. I want to understand, how did that idea come to you?
So in the previous startup that I used to work for, I was a techie. I was a full stack developer there.
Oh, okay. You're an engineer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So electrical engineering, but then I learned coding and all. Now I used to do the tech stuff and all.
Right.
So there was a client, and startup being very small, I know what happens with their other departments as well. One of the clients wanted to try influencer marketing.
Okay.
So I happened to see that everything that is happening, right from finding the right influencers, talking to them, getting the work done, and then calling them again and again, following up, getting the screenshots of the insights. All these things are all very manual. So I started thinking, we are in the 21st century where we are using technology for everything.
Right.
Why can't we use tech in this? So I took this idea with my then founder Arvind.
Okay.
So we both researched, we saw that there were agencies, there were platforms, marketplaces, but nothing that talk about the data or the analytics to back up which influencers suits for what type of brands.
Right.
So that is where we came up with this idea of Starbuzz.
Right. And as soon as you started this, as you wanted to do it, what did you do? What was the process till now?
Okay, so 2021 January is when we incorporated the company and it all became very real. The first thing that we did was join T-Hub.
Post-COVID or pre-COVID 2020?
During COVID.
Okay, during COVID. Okay.
During COVID, it was between the first and second wave of COVID.
Understood.
So that is when we applied for T-Hub and we got in. There were a series of interviews, rounds, and then we got in. I mean, that was one lucky thing for us because it helped us in so many ways.
I've seen your post, how much you praise T-Hub and the CEO. No, I've actually seen it, and I believe that it comes with great admiration, right?
Yes,
you don't fake these kind of emotions sometimes. So yeah, you got into T-Hub. I'd also want to understand how T-Hub has helped you as well. Sure. But not that. Right now we'll see about your journey.
So there, and then we started doing the research. We started to come up with the product idea of what we should be doing. So initially we thought that SaaS, the product that we have right now, is somewhere in the pipeline around 5 years from 2021.
Okay.
So we started with the marketplace just to tap the market and understand how the brands or the agencies will receive it and how the influencers will receive it.
Right.
So marketplace is basically where the brands will post that, hey, I have this campaign, and the influencers can apply for the campaign. So it was a very simple, just a coordination sort of a platform.
Do you have an app as of now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the basic idea, and we started off with it. We started reaching the agencies and the brands to take their validation to see if it will be useful for them or not.
Okay.
So they started using, we have started onboarded, and then soon we realized that the SaaS that we have planned 5 years down the line should happen now. Because the kind of feedback we are getting from them is this I can get from any agency.
Okay.
I can just reach out to an agency and tell if you are running an agency, I can say, hey Dev, I have beauty products and I need influencers from these people with this set. So you'll immediately do it to me. So this marketplace or the app is not adding any value to them.
Okay.
So we understood that, and we started. I mean, the research was already in place for the SaaS, which talks about all the data, right? So if there's a beauty product, and say they want to target the audience in Hyderabad, and in the age group of maybe 25 and above, right, and majorly male,
right? Okay.
So right now it's all hit and miss. They pick up an influencer based on either their followers or their fame, and then they experiment with them. If it works,
they don't actually go through the engagement.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And also, main importantly, the followers. It all comes down to the brand that is associating with an influencer is much more interested in the followers of the influencer rather than the influencer himself.
Correct. The personality.
If the followers fall in their target audience group or not. If I collaborate with this influencer, how much conversion can I get?
Okay.
Either in the form of interest or in the form of leads or in the form of sales. So that data is not currently available.
Right.
It's all hit and miss, and it's all like, I'll try with this influencer, I'll try with a bunch of 10 influencers.
If happens, if not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is where we came up with this data-backed system where we generate a report of all the influencers, which talks about their engagement rate, their fake followers percentage, which has become a very big problem these days.
Right.
And their previous paid posts, how well they have performed. What is their audience situation, where they are located in, what is their gender split, what is their age split, and what is the audience of these influencers are interested in. So that the brand can make a informed decision like this influencer will work for me. I'll at least get 10% conversion. So that is what we are trying to help. Right.
And how's it going as of now?
It's going good. So the SaaS, we call it SaaS. So the SaaS has been launched 4 months back, and we have close to 500 users in the SaaS, all organic.
Wow.
So
All organic.
All organic.
Wow. So how does your marketing work?
So
are you supposed to say this? No. Yeah. So how's your basically, because you have mentioned organic marketing, I want to understand how are you doing it.
So organic is where we send out cold emails to us. We research which type of brands are spending money on influencer marketing and which type of brands can benefit through influencer marketing.
Insights,
So we have all these insights and we make a list of all these brands and we reach out through them either through cold emails or cold calls or LinkedIn. And the referrals has worked very great for us. Yeah. So
one thing that I've seen actually, I believe that you would have been more of a campaign kind of a ticket. So you would have, for a campaign, like a proper campaign, you would have a certain ticket to it, and that would be the price that would be paid here and there, all of that. But you are actually not doing it. You're doing on a more subscription model.
Yes.
So how did you come into this revenue model, and how did you fix that this is the best that's the company is going forward?
So we have done that. We have done the campaign-based thing as well. Where people were mostly perceiving or confusing us to an agency.
Understood. Rather than a utility or SaaS product.
Software, they were confusing us with an agency. So we came up with, let's just be like a Netflix. Let's just take subscription and do it all self-serve model.
Okay. And then how much time did you take to refigure out from the campaign model to the subscription model?
It took us about 6 weeks.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
So this happened as soon as you launched, you saw this problem. It's very nice actually that you have found your problems very soon, because most of the companies, they pivot on a very later stage.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're stubborn about the product, but I mean, if there's a problem you see and you're not being stubborn about it, I think that's one of the best qualities an entrepreneur can have.
Exactly, because see, one way we both see it is, even Arvind agrees with me on this. You should love your product, but you at the same time you should be detached with your product as well to receive the feedback from the customers.
Right.
You can't blindly say, "Ki, this is the product. This is what people want."
Right.
Because what you're creating and what people want might be two completely different things.
Right.
So we are very open to feedbacks that way.
Right. And how's the health of the company, as in the revenue generation, all of it? Like, is it going good? Is it? I'm sure it's bootstrapped. I have read it that it was bootstrapped. How is the funding?
It was bootstrapped.
Okay.
And then last year we have raised funds from AIC Banastali through Startup India Seed Fund.
Oh wow.
So it came us in a very critical stage where we needed the money, where both mine and Arvind's savings were completely exhausted.
Okay.
So that gave us the boost. And this year, recently, 3 months back, we have closed another round of investment, 500K.
Okay.
So HNI, whose name I cannot take.
Yeah. That's really amazing. So where did your savings come from for the bootstrapping and all of that? So yeah, because I have seen that you worked somewhere, I'm not quite sure. You told that you worked in the startup that Arvind was himself the founder of.
Yeah.
So where did the savings come from?
So little savings from that.
Okay.
And then Arvind had a good amount of savings.
Okay.
So majorly from that. After he exhausted it, we should thank this to the loans. Personal loans we used to take. We used to rely heavily on the credit cards.
All right.
You wouldn't believe the amount of debt even I and Arvind have on our heads.
Okay. I do understand. I understand entrepreneurship. I myself am doing so.
Yeah.
I understand. But luckily, I've never had this problem of funding. But now you don't have a problem.
I didn't think much about the startup or the finances or anything else. It was like we were just going with the
idea.
With the idea.
Yeah, I understand. I think for the first 1.5 years, it's all about the idea.
Yeah.
You're just talking about the idea, talking through, understanding the market and all of it with the right research. And also, I did not feel the startups that I'm currently the founder of or the co-founder of, I've never given a thought about it. I think it happens very organically, as you mentioned.
You just take out money when you need it. You just give money. You don't think twice, will the startup work, or do I'm getting into debts. Like you just don't give a thought. All you think about is the idea, the connection to the idea, taking it to the market. That's it. Those three things.
Right. Was there any point of your life where you thought, it's not working out for me?
No, never. I never regret any decision in my life, because I look at it this way, that at that point in time you thought it was the best decision for you.
Right.
So there's no point in blaming or regretting it.
Right.
So I never doubt any of my decisions.
Right. And how has been your family support all this while?
Fantastic.
Right. Does your sister talk about this, and do you talk about this for business ideas, plans, and all of that? Do you talk to your parents or your sister?
No, I don't involve them in the business. I don't talk to them about the business, because all said and done, they are still very scared.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like, even when I was starting out, they were supportive, but then they were scared that you are starting at a young age. So what if you can't handle it? Or I'm pretty sure you're smart, but you're not people smart or world smart. There are other people.
Their own doubts. Yeah.
They have their own doubts. That's come from a very good place of the heart. So they always had that fear. And in business, it's always ups and downs. There's like one very good month and one very depressing weeks followed. So I don't discuss all these things with them.
Right.
But they know I'm going through something, but they don't cross that line. They give me my space, and they always give me the confidence that you go out, figure out, and if anything goes wrong in the outside world, you always have us to come back to.
Right.
And my sister has always been the secret angel investor.
Okay.
So whenever in the bootstrapping days, in the initial 18 months when we didn't have the funds, when we were running out, that was one of the revenue sources. Like
No, I understand where you're coming from. My sister is also the investor.
Secret angel.
Yeah, she helps me a lot. So how's your relationship with Arvind when it comes to work? Like, how is it working with him?
It's actually very good. So
you call him your brother, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he made me his sister.
Okay, he made you. Okay.
So while I was working for his company, we used to interact on a daily basis, right?
Of course.
He liked me as a person, and he was like, I wish I had a sister like you. You give a very sistery vibe to me. I want to make you my sister. I was like, okay. So that's a
girls are always ready to be a sister, no?
Yeah.
Girlfriends and all, they have lots of problems. But anyone come and call like, do you want to be my sister? Yeah, why not? Yeah,
why not?
I know, right?
We get a good Rakhi gift as well, and then you always have that my brother is here.
I envy girls because of Rakhi.
Yes.
I'm like, tie me. I mean, I'll tie you. Yeah, I always envy my sister for this because we have like a very good cousins as well. And then, oh my God, she just becomes millionaire in just one day.
One day.
Yeah, she just get lots of money and all of it. And she doesn't share also. So that's another problem. So how is it for you, Rakhi? How's Rakhi for you guys?
So I have one cousin.
Okay.
And there's Arvind.
Okay.
So
do you like get gifts? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then these two make up for most of it. They pamper me a lot. They give me good gifts.
Right. So how is Arvind like? Since you're founder, I mean, and it's really important to have a right founder, right?
Yeah.
When you're working particularly on a certain idea, the founder should be very strong and.
Absolutely, he is the right person. He is a serial entrepreneur. He has done 3 startups before Starbuzz, and he was always the technical head CTO there. So he comes with the right technical mindset that this Starbuzz needs. All the AI, backend, front end. So he handles everything, and he's a very calm, more than me optimistic person.
Okay.
So there are days when I feel a little sad or little low, and he's like, "Ho jayega. Don't worry, everything will fall into place."
Okay.
He has that kind of energy. He's always calm. He's very, very optimistic.
Okay.
I think that's what is working for the company as well. Like you need that optimism when you're in the initial days when you're struggling.
Right. So what we do is, as I've mentioned, the podcast is about creating a human directory.
Yeah.
So the very important question that we ask our guest on the podcast is basically about what is life according to you? What's your perspective on life? So since we have spoken a bit, I'll take the privilege to ask you this question.
Sure.
What do you think life is all about?
Life is all about taking chances and believing in yourself. I strongly believe this because trust me, 5 years back I wouldn't believe that I would start a company. I'd have a team of 15 people working for me for the idea that I initially believed in. And I am a huge introvert. I'm a nerd. So 5 years back, if you said that I'd be sitting here talking to people, in front of camera and doing the aha, I wouldn't believe myself.
Right.
But then you took chances, you believed in yourself, because if not you, who will? People spend a lot of time judging themselves before even other people do.
Correct.
And there's a lot of things you build up in your head.
Right. You put your own cages and
Exactly.
boundaries. Right.
So it's always 10x worse in your head than what it actually is. And like I said, life is all about taking chances and getting embarrassed in public. I remember my first public speaking experience.
Okay.
It was in T-Hub. It was 500 people.
Okay.
I was up on stage. Like I said, I hate public speaking. I hate to be in front of people.
Okay.
Used to.
Of course, you were an introvert.
Yeah.
I understood.
I used to. So they just called me on the stage. They were like, the 500 students here, and we think they'll be benefited from your insights. Come talk to them. Okay, fine. I took the chance. I went in front of them. I introduced myself. I introduced my company because that is the pitch that I know by heart.
Right.
I can talk about my company anytime. After that, I was like completely blank. Because I wanted to talk about many things, I didn't want to talk about many things. It was completely blank. I just said thank you and then got off the stage.
Okay.
So that was my first public attempt at speaking, and which I failed miserably.
Okay.
But then I went on the stage. Not the same day, but then I went on the stage. I spoke, and then I hosted few events, and then I was in front of camera for Aha Nenu Super Women.
Okay.
I was in front of camera, lights, and all the big set, and then I did the speaking. And then recently, at my SNIST where I studied, they called me, and then I was on the stage again in front of close to 500 people and students, and then I gave my speech.
Right.
So there's multiple things. You should never be afraid of the embarrassments.
Right.
Or of the failure, because I'm sure nobody gets it the first time. And people always think that,
except if you're Devashish.
Okay,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, like I said, you shouldn't be afraid of failures or embarrassments, because I can give you tons of examples from my experience in this last 3 years that I have failed and I've bounced back. And even one more example is when we were starting out, I had no clue about what the valuation is. Same, I was on a stage, I was pitching my company to a group of investors, and then when there comes a Q&A, one of the investors asked, what's your valuation? I was like, sir, I don't know. He was like, how can you come on a stage of pitching competition and tell you don't know the valuation of your own company and all? Because I really didn't care about the valuation or the finances. It was all the product and the solution that I was obsessed about.
Right.
But then after that moment, we started digging deep on what the valuation is, how you should be valued your company, and all those things. Like
this happened 3 years back.
Yes.
Okay.
And after that incident, 1 year after that, we raised the funds. And even in that course of 1 year, there were multiple rounds of investors that we spoke to, multiple questions, multiple embarrassments. It's just that you pick up the things that you don't know, learn, rework, and then execute.
Right. And how would it feel every time when you're being embarrassed or you're being questioned on the ability to actually run? Like, I'm sure it's very terrible. How was it? How was the feeling, and how would you come back at it?
It was terrible, like you said. Like if you talk to many people on a daily basis, and you being an introvert, the first thing is the social interactions exhaust you, and the second is hearing the continuous no, you're not good enough, takes a toll on you. So the one thing I look at is, after I go back home, I have a journal. So I write down all the things that I'm grateful for, or all the good things that has happened in that day.
Is this happening in the world? I mean, people really writing journals?
I do.
Okay.
I'm still a book paper.
I've seen lots of women actually doing journals. It's been many few weeks, months I haven't spoken to a man founder, and none of them till now that I've spoken to have ever journaled something. I think women do this a lot, because I've also spoken to few CEOs that I was mentioning before the podcast. They do journal. How does it help you?
So, like I said, I point out all the things that I'm grateful for, and all the good things that has happened in a day.
Okay.
So, in comparison, the little no's, or it seems very little, the no. Like, you've accomplished so much in a day, so, it's okay. One bad day you had, you can still go ahead. It gives you that kinds of self-confidence. Because like, in entrepreneurship, it's always you that you should motivate yourself.
Correct.
There's nobody that is giving you a pat on the back saying, hey, you're doing good, keep going. It's always you that you should pat your back. So that is very important.
No, I remember the days when you wouldn't want to get up from your bed also.
Yes.
Like, no, you would have such terrible day that you wouldn't want to get up from the bed the very next day. I understand that. And for you also, because you were an introvert, I don't know what I am, to be honest. But that's it. I also understand where you're coming from, and I know how terrible it might feel, especially when you are on a stage where you're trying to raise funds, where you're working on it, where people are there under you, and such kind of things. So how's everything now? Do you think you're all got up now?
I believe so. I believe so. I believe I've got it.
Right. So how did you learn? Like, of course, I understand you had an idea, you wanted to work on it, but before working, there is certain learnings that you have to do. You have to understand the market. You have to understand what are the right places for you to be in, what are the resources that you can have, all of it. So how did you start your self-learning?
It was more of a
journey.
It was more of a market research that we've done. We've spoken to a couple of brands, agencies, going in person, talking to them, telling that, hey, we have an idea. If we develop something like this, would you be interested?
Okay.
So it's more of a market research, both online and offline, that we were doing.
Okay.
Parallelly, we were also searching for any platforms or anything similar that is existing in the market. If yes, how far ahead are they, and what are the things that you can pick up from them?
Right.
Because having competition is always a good thing in the market. It's like an indirect validation to your idea that people need it. Somebody has already done it. So maybe what are the things that you can do better? So this kind of a research.
Currently the market for startups are not that great, to be honest. Things are very scary. I think Doubtnut, an edtech industry, recently they have distress sold their company as well. There was another company that basically merged with it, or I think it bought it. It bought it. Do you have that sense of fear as of now?
No, not yet. Maybe I think it's only bad in terms of funding. There's a funding winter, or inhibitions about putting money in the startups. That is the only aspect that is kind of troubling the startups, not the market, not anything else. I think if you have a good enough product, it'll do well eventually. So,
Right. What are your plans from now for the company?
I have many plans. So one of the things is right now we are pan-India. So the next big thing for us would be to take the SaaS to the global markets, and one of the countries that you have mentioned before.
Okay.
So either UAE or Singapore.
I'll help you. Please let me know.
Please help.
Yeah.
So that, and we are also starting a creator wing.
Okay.
B2C wing, where we can help these creators monetize the content, because of all the people that are out there.
Okay.
They're just putting out content. There are many people who have talent managers helping them, but there are a lot more people who don't have anybody or any direction where to go, how to get monetization, all those things.
Right.
So we are doing that thing to help them.
Oh, okay. Wow. How soon can I see the product? Like, can we have it?
2 months.
2 months. Oh,
So
wow.
it's not.
Pretty-
It's getting long.
Arvind is very fast now with technical stuff.
Yes.
Understood.
He should be.
Yeah. So you basically right now you are the one who's executing all the ideas
Yeah.
and plans. Right.
So initially in the starting days, it was Arvind and I who used to develop everything. Now Arvind takes care of tech, R&D,
Of course.
everything.
I mean, after a certain stage of growth, you
Yeah.
have to determine the roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, it's
as
not
well.
like both of us can sit
Correct.
and code. One of us has to be out there, put ourselves in front of people,
Right.
and tell that we have a product.
Right.
So I am that person in the company.
All right. All the best to your
Thank
company
you.
from here on, and please let me know about your products. I definitely want
Now
to.
that you have told, I will.
Yeah, please. So that's it. Now we'll come back to the crux of our podcast. So I have asked you about life.
Yeah.
The other question that our audience is very interested. Actually, I've seen the metrics and they really love this question.
Okay.
Your love life. Okay. So how has love been to you? What is love for you? And how do you look at it?
So love is any small thing that people do for you, right? See, the other day, it can come even from strangers.
All right.
The other day, there was some article of mine and the product in the Inadu,
Okay.
and there was this guy who kept calling the company phone. So one of my team members took it, but he wanted to talk to me.
Okay.
I couldn't get back to him until later, and then I called him back. He was like, I just wanted to say congratulations, good luck, keep it going. That was all he had to take.
Okay.
And he called the number like 6 or 7 times just to tell that.
Okay.
So him taking time out of his busy life,
Okay.
finding the number, calling you, and just to tell that words of encouragement is
Right.
form of love language, right?
Okay.
And at the end of the day, when you're very tired and your parents silently understand that you need that alone time and they don't want to disturb you, it's all.
So for you, love is the most simplest of things.
Most simplest of
Simple
things.
act of kindness.
Yes. And when my friends sit and listen about all the things that I talk about the startup, even though they don't understand it, just being there listening to me. So
Right.
there's one friend Siddharth, and then there's my sister Bhavani, whom I talk to very much about startups.
Okay.
Even though they don't understand, they're just there sitting listening to me.
Right.
Like, okay, it'll happen. Ho jayega, don't worry.
Right.
So those simple acts of love.
Right. And how has been love to you? Was it kind to you? Did you ever had like a breakup or all of that? How was it for you? Never. You're completely focused.
Yeah, and
I wish I was as focused as you. I have broken my heart so many times. Okay.
but then I'm a very optimistic person. I said, I always count the blessings, always count the good things, positive things that has happened. So
All right. I'll take notes.
yes,
From
journal.
I'll journal. See? Right.
Yeah.
So that said, you told that you don't have any regrets in your life, you have mentioned. But I want to understand what has been the lowest of your life and how did you come out of it? Because I believe that people would definitely want to know it.
Then it's not the lowest, but there are multiple lows.
Okay.
So just like any traditional middle class Indian family, even I wanted to get into IITs.
Okay.
And because I was such a big nerd, everybody has such high hopes that I would crack it.
Okay.
So I couldn't. That was one of the low moments where I cried and all that happened. And in the business also, there are a couple of moments like, when you won't get the funding, when you don't know what is going to happen. And when business, nothing is sure.
Right.
Nothing goes according to the plan. I have made peace with the fact.
Right.
But when you're very, it's all very haphazard. Like you don't know, there is nothing clear.
Right.
And I am a very organized kind of a person, so that gives me anxiety.
Right.
So when there are things like that, I tend to break down. So The multiple small things. I don't think the lowest of the lows. Thankfully I didn't have any.
Right. And now we'll talk about T-Hub.
Yes.
How has T-Hub helped you to, because you're very much grateful to them. I want to understand why.
So again, it's the simplest of things, right? People always coming to T-Hub expect that miracles will happen in T-Hub. You know, you get funding, you get exposure, you get that this within like months. Nothing like that happens.
Okay.
It's just that you have to go there with the right mindset. Me being the first time entrepreneur, going there, talking to people, and you know, one, it gives you a sense of belief and relief both, that there are entrepreneurs like you who are equally struggling, if not more. So you get a sense of belonging to the community, that you are not the only one. There are everybody out there. People like you, who are trying to make it big.
Right.
Second is, you can always get the help of mentors, or you know, if you're stuck somewhere. Like I said, Arvind and I, we both are from the tech backgrounds.
Right.
So initially we didn't have much knowledge about the market and stuff. How to go on about the marketing, how to go on about the sales and all these things. So we got the help from T-Hub, when we reached out to them and asked that these are the areas where we are stuck at and we need some help from your end. And the people there are very friendly, especially the CEO, MSR Garu. They're very friendly. Like, you go out to them with a problem statement, say that these are the areas that I'm stuck in. They sit and help and try to figure out what is the core of the problem, how you should go on about it.
Right.
It's not always about them writing a check for you.
Right.
Or it's not always about them releasing a PR about you. Right. It's about all these little things that will hold your hand when you are more afraid of.
Right.
And then helping you go in the right direction, and then giving you the validation, like, you know, if I ask them that this is what I have in mind, do I go on about it, or is it the right for my product? You know that they will give you some kind of inputs on which you can work on. They don't tell you, yes, you go like this, no, you don't go like this. They give you the inputs, which are very valuable and that you can work on.
Right.
So I always think that if we were a startup that is standalone, outside the community, I don't think we would have got this big this fast.
Okay.
It's all the community and the network that has helped you. So like you said, I have that kind of admiration for Tia.
Right. I've also seen a post on LinkedIn where you met the president of Croatia, Republic of Croatia.
Yes.
Yeah, how was the feeling?
It was very good. It was just a morning in T-Hub. I've started my work, and MSR Garu, he calls me. He says, meet her. She's the president of Croatia. I was like, what? So things like this, you know, you don't expect it. And opportunities like this tend to come your way in T-Hub.
What did you learn from her? Like, what was your takeaway after meeting her?
She was very humble, and she reminded us that, you know, her being a president of a country, if she can be that humble and that friendly and put a smiling face in front of you, she didn't consider ki she is just from a small startup, why should I give her my time? She was very humble, and she was eager to learn. She was eager to know about the product and all, and she was referring to she wanted to know about my achievements.
Okay.
Which are very small compared to her, what she has done, right? So it's a reminder for me to stay humble.
Okay. Are you humble?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So since you have spoken about it, I want to understand the fun side of Krishna Priya.
Okay.
I almost forgot your name. I have a problem with names, actually. I don't remember names. I'm telling this genuinely on the camera. I forget names. Last time I was with the CEO, halfway down the conversation, I forgot the name. And I did not refer to her name again. I was like, just the questions. But I have a habit of talking by calling names. So if at all we are having a conversation, I'd call Krishna Priya for like 10 to 20 times at least.
I've observed.
Yeah, I do it many times. But sometimes I forget suddenly. I sometimes forget my name. Last time I think there was some event I was in, and I was talking to someone, and he was like, hey, hi, I'm Rakesh, you know, something like that, some name. What's your name? And you? I'm like,
I believe my name is Dev.
Yeah, I was like, wait, let me get back to it. I'll send you an email. Yeah, so
no, Arvind is also very similar to me. Even he keeps forgetting names. So
okay, that's why you're the public face. That's why you're the public face now.
Yes.
Understood.
It's a guy's thing, maybe.
I don't know. Okay. If you are, I'll take that. But yes, that said, I want to know the fun side of Krishna Priya. So tell me about it. Like, what do you do? What's your way of unwinding a busy day?
I'm a very boring person.
Okay,
I
same.
believe.
Same. Okay.
I don't party much. My kind of unwinding is having a book, a cup
Okay.
of coffee, and reading it undisturbed.
Okay.
That's it. I don't watch much of TV, movies, or all. I'm a very
What are your hobbies? I'm very curious now. Like, what do you do? Like, do you like just work, go home, read book, and do nothing?
sort of yes.
Okay. Do you have like any hobby particularly which takes some of your time, where you have fun, something like that? Any hobby other than reading book, please?
Why isn't reading a book considered a hobby?
Yeah, that is a hobby, of course. I mean, other than reading a book.
Other than reading a book, I like to organize. I like to clean, organize everything. I
Okay.
have that.
We are not so clean.
No, but I have a little problem with that not being at a right angle and these pens not being parallel. So
Okay. Okay. Do you have like an OCD? Like you want like everything?
people call it OCD. I don't consider it so.
Right.
But
It's more of a. Yeah. I'm not a
It's more
disciplined
of-
person at all. Yeah.
It's more of I like to organize things. I like to
Okay.
keep it all clean, organized.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Now I can see why Starbuzz.ai is doing great, because you're a very organized person.
I think so.
Yeah, and I believe that, I mean, I really see the utility of it, and I really believe that would do wonders in the coming future, and especially since you're from Hyderabad and I'm from Hyderabad, I'm rooting for you. Like,
Thank
yeah,
you.
go Hyderabad, go.
Yes.
Yeah. So recently the elections have happened, and Congress has come to the position,
Yeah.
and then I think Revanth Reddy would be the
Yes.
CM of.
I think he's already.
Oh, he's already.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Keep up there.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. So, not into politics, I'm sorry, but what was your view? What happened? Like,
I mean, I don't know. People needed a change, maybe.
okay.
It's been 10 years since they've seen the same rules, same party. So then maybe they wanted to see how other party would perform. Maybe. This is the reason.
I've seen KTR
Yeah.
coming to T-Hub
Yes.
lots many times.
Yes.
I have myself attended certain events whenever he was a keynote speaker, and I admire him. So how do you like him? Like, how do you look at him?
We adore him. Everybody at T-Hub, and especially me, Arvind, we like him because he was the perfect IT leader. Like, he set the standards very high. Like,
Right.
be it talking to the governments, being getting all these corporates.
Corporates into, right.
Yeah, corporates
Right.
into, and getting all these startups, setting
Yeah.
up a hub, all these things. Like, he has set the bar so high for the IT ministers to follow.
Right, right.
Yes.
Did it break your heart that he might not be our IT minister for this?
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Are you political? Do you have like political opinions? No, not much.
Not
into-
much of a political person.
did you
And
vote?
if not for KTR, I wouldn't be this much talking about the politics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm not
right.
much-
Did you vote, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
nice.
The ink is still.
Yeah. Oh, she voted, guys. She's a
Yes,
very
I did.
responsible citizen. Please show the finger. Like, we
It's
did.
almost done.
Yeah, we both are responsible citizens of
Yeah.
India.
Yes.
All right. So that said, you don't have any hobbies other than reading books, and you do organize. Yeah.
You can consider organizing and
Yeah.
creating a hobby
Yeah,
too.
yeah, of course,
And
of course.
I'll sit and gossip with my mom if you want to. I mean, since you want things other than reading,
Yeah.
I sit and gossip.
What do you
with my
talk
mother.
about with your mom?
Anything and everything. I can talk about politics. I can talk about movies. She talks about the relatives, cousins.
You go to movies? Are you a movie person? Like, do you watch movies? Like, how are you when it comes to movies?
I watch very rarely, like one every 3-4 months. My last movie, I believe, was Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay. You did not watch Barbie? Remember the Barbie and
Oppenheimer
like,
thing. I chose Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And it felt very good. Like, they were talking about Einstein, Schrodinger, as if they were friends, and me being a nerd. That nerd in me woke up and was very
I've
excited.
seen this guy somewhere. Yeah.
I've heard about him, and
Right.
they're talking them as if they're friends, and that part of the movie I enjoyed a lot. So.
Right.
And actually, my dad and sister, they watch movies a lot, and they're very up to date in the OTT and everything that is releasing.
Okay.
They keep telling me ki this movie has
Watch
released,
this,
and
watch that.
yeah, and then they end up watching it without me. So
Right. Krishna Priya, of course, you don't like being Krishna, called Krishna. So
it's okay. I got used. Many people call me Krishna now.
Right. So tell me about this. Every entrepreneur do have someone who they look up to.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Might not also sometimes. Who do you look up to?
2 people. One is Elon Musk.
Okay.
Second, Falguni Nair.
Oh, okay. Why?
Elon Musk, because he has this innate belief in himself Like, even though people call him crazy, people call his ideas crazy, you know, and at the end of the day, they all end up following him. And he has such a, I don't know, I admire his confidence and, you know, the way he sees the world. And Falguni Nayar, because at that age, after being comfortably doing a bank job, to come out of it, see a problem and believe in herself and, you know, build an empire.
That too when there was a great competition.
Yes, and build an empire, make a name for herself. Yeah, even like I was saying, at that age where she was comfortably doing a bank job.
Bank job, yeah.
And then coming out of it, seeing a problem, addressing it, and building an empire out of it. When you, right, like you pointed out, even though having a competition, and taking her startup, the company, to a stage where, you know, everybody look up to it, and it's a kind of an industry leader.
Right.
It's not an easy feat, and I really admire her confidence and belief in that.
What are your views on Shark Tank India that you did you watch?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your views on it?
So initially, I used to hate shows like this.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, what I used to feel before I came into entrepreneurship and all is, they make it all seem very flashy, easy, and people who may or may not know about startups and business also start judging you.
Right.
They don't know how you have struggled, how far you have come, how all the things, all the hurdles that you have faced to be in the stage or in front of camera or TV, but then they end up judging you.
Right.
So that was the view I had before. But then the view I have now after coming into the startups is, maybe it's a positive thing, because now entrepreneurs are given not same but almost same the importance as the sportsman or the actress, movie actors.
A celebrity, right?
A celebrity,
right?
So even people look up to entrepreneurs these days. And few years back, people don't know the founder of a so and so company; they just use the product. Now they know about the company, they know about the founder, they associate with them with the founder. So, you know, I think it's been a good thing, and people also start reaching out to you. And one example I had was after featuring on the AHA show. There are a couple of girls who sent me a DM saying that after seeing your story, after seeing your episode on AHA, I think I can start working on my product.
Right.
Because they feel it relatable. It's not a far off thing that, you know, only people with so and so qualities can do. It's like, if you have a product, if you genuinely believe in it, you can start doing it. So it is giving that kind of confidence to the youngsters that is coming. So maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah. No, we also have a very similar ideology, you know, as I've mentioning about International Organization for Women, that we want to, you know, make sure that it works on. It also comes down from a very foundational level of making people believe in what they can do, and removing certain doubts if they have, and doubts are good, to be honest, but not at the cost of abandoning your dreams. You know, that is something that I believe in. So yeah, you know, that's also something that I'd also want to do. And down the line, even today you are conversing with me, and tomorrow people would watch you, and, you know, they understand where you have come from, because you have come from 60 or 70% Indians come from.
Yes.
Right. And that's where the whole magic happens, right? You come from there, you are determined, you're disciplined, and you're dedicated. And of course you have Devashish, you know, like 4 Ds.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's where people, you know, do make a difference. And I really believe in dialogues. I really believe that things that have happened in the world, most of the things, of course there are wars and all of it, it's happening, it's unfortunate enough, but at the same time I believe dialogues are really important and powerful. Nothing can ever beat a dialogue, and these dialogues tomorrow would become someone's inspiration as well. So once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for it.
And it was great talking to you. And I really hope that the company prospers, and I definitely want to be also a part of it, so that I remember that yes, I did a podcast with him someday down the line. It would be great for me to be remembered by important and amazing people like you.
Thank you.
And that said, thank you, thanks again. But before we leave, we play a small game, as I've mentioned before. So this game is basically a very simple game. We'll play a rock paper scissors. No, we'll do another game today. We'll do a staring game. Okay, it would be a one-on-one staring at each other. Whoever blinks first loses.
Oh god.
Okay. I don't know, this just happened suddenly. I thought of playing the rock paper scissors, but I've done it 2 to 3 times as of now. So let's do that one-on-one, just one, the blinking one. So
now
let's.
that you said don't blink, it's all I can do.
Right, I've just made you conscious.
Yeah.
So yeah, whoever blinks first loses the game, and whoever loses, they'd have to do a philanthropic dare, right? Where we'd be helping people, going into communities, and I definitely want people like you to help them, or me
Absolutely.
to help them as well. And this is like a small excuse, a fun excuse to actually help them out.
Sure.
So are you ready for the game?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hope so. Yes.
So we'll start. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. You will say, or should I say?
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ready? It's just one off. Like whoever blinks first loses. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. You don't like to lose, right?
Yeah.
You like to win. So yeah, please be aggressive and bring that
I'll try.
sportsmanship. Yeah.
Yes.
Tomorrow when someone asks you what sport did you play, please tell this.
Yeah. What's this called, by the way?
I don't know.
What are we naming
Stair
this?
game?
Stair
I don't
game?
know. I don't
Okay.
know.
I think it has a name already.
Okay. Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, start.
You can talk, right?
You lost already. You just blinked. Oh my god. Just 3 seconds. Yeah, I won. It didn't feel like a win, by the way. It was very quick.
It was a very easy win for you.
Yeah. All right. So in this, we have 4 different dares, philanthropic dares, and I would want you to choose any number 1 to 4, and whichever number you choose, whatever it's written, we would do it for the people out there, for the people who need us.
3.
3. It says donate food to underprivileged children or adults.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a dare.
Done.
You're going to perform.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll be a part of it, of course. It's not
Yeah,
that I'd
yes.
abandon you. I'll let you know the date.
Yeah.
I'll figure out. You don't have to work, because please work on your company. You're very busy. I'll figure out all of it, and I'll let you know when to perform the dare. And whenever the date is right, we'll just go. We'll do some good things and have a couple of people, get a smile on their face.
Yes.
All right.
Can I see what are the other 3?
Yeah. Please.
Now that I've
Yeah.
done.
Please.
Okay. All are good.
You chose a very good one.
I know.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks again. Thanks everyone for watching us, and we'll be back with many such amazing podcasts. For now, we'll take a bye, but yes, we'll talk a lot. There are different things that I want to understand as well from your business point of view, and we'll see how we can help each other out.
Yes, thank
All
you.
right?
Thank you, Dev. Thank you so much.